All right, Willie D, what are we going to talk about today? I think you said something about going the extra mile.
And typically, it's not just 1 mile. A lot of times, it's 1,000 miles every once in a while. I just got back from Arizona, and I got to go the extra mile for a really special customer that we actually had at the Goldsby dealership. They were looking for a specialized RV that we just don't see a lot of out there on the market. And we had to do some hunting. We had to do some searching, but we found that RV, and we were able to make their dream come true.
Let's talk about that. So what was so special about this particular unit?
So what was really special about this, I would say there's two sides of it. For one, there's the mechanical side, and then there's also the sentimental side. So for number one, it was the physical side. So they needed a motorhome that was wheelchair accessible.
You've been hanging out with me too long, Willie D. I get too excited.
All tied up. Yeah. I was really excited here in Joplin. If you didn't know, we have the pop-up mansion. I'll show you here. Really cool RV. But so they were looking for an RV that they could actually take their wheelchair, put it on a ramp. It'll lift them all the way up into that coach. And then the floor plan, once you get in the coach, that's just part of it. You're going to have to be able to get around the actual motorhome to make sure the wheelchair is accessible. So the shower, also the bedroom, up in the front cabin area, all of that has to be level with no step-ups or anything. And so the floor plan was very important to make sure it accommodated them when they were going out camping. But secondly, their sister-in-law, if I'm not mistaken, it was either their sister-in-law, really enjoyed going camping with this family. But unfortunately, last year, she did pass away from a battle with cancer. And so what they did was they named this RV Dorothy. And so whenever I was going around, I would actually take pictures with Dorothy out in the mountains or at the hotel or getting fuel. And so it was really a special thing because they loved going camping, but they also wanted to get this RV in memory of their sister-in-law or her sister-in-law. And so it was really special because whenever they actually did get their RV, they felt like they had already owned it for like a week because I'd been coming back down with it. But then also they'd been getting pictures. They were already turning those miles into memories without even getting in the driver's seat. And it was a really cool experience. I found out, I think it was a Tuesday, around 3 o'clock, your sister actually called me and said, "Hey, what flight do you want to go on?" And I, what are you talking about? What flight? She goes, "You're going to Arizona tomorrow." I said, like, what? New Mexico? Arizona, New Mexico, like over there out west? She goes, yes, out west. So, I picked the 6 a.m. flight. I'm always kind of an early riser, so that wasn't a big deal for me. I jumped on that 6 a.m. flight. Time traveled. It is a real thing. You can time travel. You go back in the time zones, and they actually don't observe time change in Arizona.
They do not recognize that.
That was something that was a little different to me. I showed up, and I got off the plane, and it was 6 when I left, and it was like 8 when I landed. It just didn't make sense because I already stopped in Dallas, and I made a couple other stops. But that was really cool. Got out, got into an Uber, and then went to actually a dealership who was really generous down there in Arizona. Sorry, I keep saying Arizona, New Mexico. But they're really generous, and they were able to sell us that RV. And so we were able to sell it to our customers. If you didn't know, it's not like a car dealership where if you, I found this used one up there in Montana. Can you get that? No, it doesn't work like that. Yeah. So new units, we have a little bit more of a connection with the dealers because there's not a ton of Newmar dealers as we talk about because you have to be selected. You have to be one of the few chosen, the few, the proud, the Newmar dealers, the Marines. Yep. It's very similar. You have to be very selected to be a Newmar dealer. And so with that, we were able to meet up with some of the dealers that we met in Colorado Springs when we were there for the Newmar Rally. That's how that relationship actually got started. Yeah. They weren't able to sell it. They didn't have any customers down there that were looking for it. It made us a good deal, and then Willie D drove it back. So it was a really cool experience. I had a good time. And Jared Laster had to buy me a pepperoni pizza that night because, I was working for him. So I got a pizza. I had a good road trip, but it was a little over 1,000 miles. I think it was... Wow. If I'm not mistaken, I think it was like 1,300 right around there. So I really got to understand the Newmar Country Star very well. It was a very comfortable ride. Overall, it was a very nice motorhome being a brand new Newmar, but handled up in the mountains very well, kept speeds pretty good. I liked a lot of the features. For one, the captain's chairs. If you're going to be driving for that amount of time, you're going to want a chair that's comfortable, and this has a really nice chair. It's like you're sitting in a recliner, and if you turn it around, it actually will recline, have the feet kick out. So if you do want to take a little rest stop over at the Loves or the Flying J, you can kick back, watch a little TV, and you're going to be in style and comfort. It kept me cool because it was very, very hot, and I wasn't ever sweating or anything. The stereo, I never had it turned all all the way up, and I love my country music.
Yeah.
So I was able to jam, and it was just an experience you wouldn't be able to have anywhere else unless you were working at Wade's RV.
That's awesome. So let me break this down. The Goldsby location had a customer come to them with some needs to, make this.
It wasn't wants; it really was needs. Because
it was
you
needs
can't just,
because it was
put a wheelchair. I mean, through a normal door, it just won't even fit. And so this was a real need. And if we weren't able to get that, we would have had to custom build it.
Yeah.
Which we can at Wade's RV, but from the factory,
it's better.
It just works a lot smoother and it's a lot faster because we want them out there camping.
So we found the motorhome that fit their needs for like ADA access, like wheelchair, and then so we tapped into the network with Newmar. We found them their perfect,
their dream coach. That's what's cool. Is their dream RV.
And then you went down there, flew out there, and drove it back for them.
Yes, absolutely. And I was smiling the entire time. Well, at 5 a.m. in the morning, I may have been a little drowsy. I may have been a little tired, but the rest of the way, I mean, I was just having a great time. I met some cool people on the plane, and of course, they were, hey, what are you doing? Where are you going?
Yeah.
I said, I work for Wade's RV, and I'm going to pick up an RV, baby, and I'm going to drive back to Oklahoma today. And so I left on a Tuesday, and I was back, at my house on Wednesday night. So
there you go.
It was a really fast turnaround, and like I said, we want you out there making miles into memories, and so I made sure we got it back. We weren't delaying at all. So all speed limits were followed, by the way.
Ooh.
Highway Patrol and Wade, I followed all speed limits. So.
At all times.
All
and
times.
You wore your seatbelt at all times, right?
I did, actually. Yeah, my grandma, she would not let me go anywhere. She would say the car wouldn't start unless I had my seatbelt, which I believed for years. And so very accustomed to wearing that seatbelt. Thank you, Grandma, for the good habits.
There you go. And I think it was really special that you took the time to pull over and take those pictures and send it and share it with that family. That's really awesome. And I would say you got my vote. What do you guys say? One vote for going the extra mile. Absolutely. I would say you got my vote for that. And it kind of makes me not want to share my story now, Willie D. I'm like, oh, man, this is not as good.
You had a pretty cool one, too. You were transporting some cool motorhomes.
Yeah.
Now, your journey didn't start out the same way mine did. You actually left in a motorhome, and you came back in a motorhome. And you went down to Mexico or something, right? Did you travel internationally?
Basically. We went to El Paso. Okay. So we had a customer called my dad. I guess he's been a customer of my dad's for a long time. And so
who isn't a customer of your dad's for a long time?
I know.
Everyone is.
Even like when we were in Oklahoma City and the people are in Oklahoma City and my dad's always done business out of the Tulsa area. I'm like, how the heck have you been my dad's customer for so long and you live here? That's kind of awesome. But anyways, so they make arrangements and my dad's like, hey, I need you to drive this. It was a Tuscany. Drive the Tuscany down to El Paso and to exchange it out. And I'm like, oh, okay. And so you're going to drive this other motorhome back. And
you're forgetting one key feature. This thing was slick. It was tuxedo black.
Yes.
That nice silver. I mean, this thing was cool going down the road. Not that my Newmar wasn't, but this thing was huge. Tag axle, 45 foot. It does not come any bigger or any shinier.
I look like John Wayne driving down the road, down the highway. And so I'm like, man, I don't want to do this trip alone. So I called my buddy. And I was like, hey, you want to go on a road trip? His name's Roman. I was like, Roman, you want to go on a road trip? He's like, hey, hold on, let me check my schedule. Yeah, let's go. Can't pass up a good road trip. So me and Roman on the road, we drove straight through. We took turns.
I'm not going to ask if you wore your seatbelt or follow the speed limits because I know the answer.
I plead the fifth.
Yeah.
And so we get down there in record time, driving the speed limit.
Yes. And because you had two drivers, you could rotate. Dude. You didn't have to stop. That's why.
So we leave early, but then we get down to El Paso, and dude, it was like 10 o'clock. We were debating. Okay, we're like, do we stop here, sleep overnight, or do we just go straight in? Well, we're talking with the customer. We didn't send him pictures, but we're talking with him, and he's like, oh man, if you can make it by this time, I'm still up, and I'll meet you at this Walmart parking lot because you can't get in my neighborhood. It's a nice gated community, and it just not enough room. So let's meet at this Walmart parking lot in El Paso at 10 p.m. at night.
With a $400,000 motorhome?
Oh, it was
around there?
Very expensive. And so I'm like, okay, I guess Roman, the customer wants it now, so we're going to go the extra mile, literally. And do this transaction. But when we do that, let's get out of El Paso before like nighttime.
I always want to get back to Oklahoma, but yeah,
I
definitely
know.
down there. I'm trying to get away.
And so, because we don't know, we're right there by the border, and like literally, it was a little scary because we're in this big motorhome, and if you take the wrong exit, you're in Mexico. You accidentally just, like if instructions or GPS says turn right now, and you turn, you
might get in,
Mexico.
but you're not getting out.
Exactly.
It's a lot easier to get in.
We didn't have passports or anything like that. The funniest thing about the entire trip, we get there, customer is like happy. He's excited that we did that for him. We check out his motorhome. His motorhome was amazing. And so we take off to head back. We hit a, it's almost like not a checkpoint, but it's almost like, it looked like customs. Like you literally go through it like this.
A way station?
No, it wasn't a way station. It was like, literally, it was like this setup that looks like
it's like a DUI checkpoint.
What do you call
customs.
it? Dang it. You're going to be saying it in the comments. It's a checkpoint. But whatever. It's like you have to, it's almost like as if you went into Mexico and you were doing border patrol to come back. Like everyone has to go through the line and they look at you and say, yep, go.
There's the first filter.
Back. First filter. But we didn't leave the United States. So I'm like kind of confused. Like now, I'm really nervous. And we did nothing wrong. I'm like, oh, this is weird. They looked at us and they were like, you pull over. And then they had the dogs search and like smell around or whatever to make sure we weren't doing anything crazy. And they looked at me and they're like, all right, go. I'm like, okay, cool. Let's get the heck out of here.
I'll say, good thing you didn't have Willie Nelson's bus down there, man. You would have been in some trouble.
Especially back then because none of that was legal.
That was a couple years ago.
But anyways, we got past the checkpoint or whatever you call it. And came back home safely. But that was quite the journey. I guess the most nerve-wracking part was being in El Paso, doing the transaction in a Walmart parking lot at 10 a.m. or 10 p.m.
And didn't he give you like a bag of cash or something?
He might have.
I think, yeah. If I remember the story correct, he
maybe
had to,
or
like, give you the
maybe
down
not
or something. So
there might have been a little bit of cash, but I don't know. I can't remember.
It was one of those deals.
I plead the fifth.
Did Roman wear his cross boots? I figured he dressed up like a cowboy, but that was the other thing is it leads suspicion. You're down there in Texas, you got a big motorhome, a guy wearing cross boots and bedazzled jeans. Come on.
Yeah, I don't wear bedazzled jeans.
No. To be clear.
My jeans always come from like Tractor Supply, $40 jeans,
Wrangler, Ariat. But
yeah.
You guys were looking like
he might have been wearing
stuff.
like those zip-up boots with the chrome tip on it or something.
I have to tell him to bring those to my next birthday party.
Yeah. So,
and actually, I forgot about this one. I actually got to do a Texas delivery myself.
Yeah.
And I made a YouTube video. So if you go to our YouTube page, you can see it. I termed it the last toy hauler on Earth because this was right around when COVID and stuff was starting. And so there was a little bit of an RV shortage. And I had a customer who, they didn't need necessarily this specialized RV that was custom built or anything, but they did really like this floor plan, and we'd been working together for approximately a year to find them the right RV. And once we found it, it would happen just like it does every time. I asked them to put the deposit on it, and they said they wanted to go home and sleep on it. And guess what? Someone bought it that afternoon, just like I told them was going to happen, because it's a popular RV at a great price. So if you like one, put a deposit, lesson to be known. But I am a determined man, and I don't like to lose a sale. So I started looking around, and I ended up finding this Torque, and it was down all the way in Texas. I think it was down in Austin or something. It was either in Austin or Houston. And so I called my good friend Chris Surge, the Torque master, because I had to make sure I got some wheeling and dealing done. And he was able to talk to this dealership, and just like the other RV, they weren't selling it. It was still sitting on their lot. My customer didn't want to drive down there, but I was willing to do the work. I was willing to put in the time. And so I jumped in a sport chassis.
You were willing to go the extra mile?
Literally the extra. I think that one was 700 or 800 miles.
Yeah.
Not quite 1,000, but willing to go the extra mile. So I called Sport Chassis, because at the time we sold those, jumped into Sport Chassis, was able to go down there, hook it up in style, and come all the way back. I got some great Texas barbecue as well.
Oh.
I think it was called like Hard 8, and they had these giant smokers inside the building, and you just walk through and they weigh it by the pound. Great experience.
Wow.
I don't know if I endorse them, but I highly recommend it.
There you go.
But it was a fun trip, and I got to do that. I've also got to deliver some Class Bs down in Texas. So if you're watching this and you find an RV that you like, don't be scared. We do deliver an RV. I mean, we deliver them all over. It may not be me. We have other people that help out sometimes as well, but that's what we do because we want to make the experience across the nation. We don't have RV dealerships in every single state yet. I hope it comes soon. But we want to be able to help people, and that's why one reason we're up here in Joplin, one reason we're in Goldsby is because we had people coming from all over the state and also the 4-state area coming to see your dad to get that service work, to get those sales, to get those deals, and to get those brands. And so that really... going the extra mile isn't just about delivering an RV. It really has to do with what we do here at the dealership every single day.
All right, so I'd have to say it's all about building those relationships. And so we go the extra mile. We try and strive to go the extra mile with our customers. And it's not only with our customers. We do that with community involvement. You and I have recently delivered multiple RVs to multiple events locally where our sponsorship part was providing an RV. That was at Tulsa Tough. We provided a couple of RVs for them there for shelter and to stay nice and cold.
Big Bay Police Department for the Barbecue and Blues Festival. We help them out every year. Make-A-Wish, we always donate an RV for whenever KRMG is doing their big promotion. They use that for about...
You went over the Make-A-Wish real quick, but we gave away 2 RVs.
That's loaning the RVs. Loaning.
But. Well, But so we did that, and then we also Goldsby. We for Paul's Valleys fire department or police department,
wasn't it?
Yeah, for
last
the
week or 2 weeks ago.
Okie noodling event.
I wasn't sticking my hand down there, so I wasn't anywhere close.
Yeah. So we go the extra mile and we deliver RVs. We take them out there to make sure that people can kind of get that RV experience and
get them set up, answer any questions, because whenever you come here, we give you a free lesson on how to use your RV, but you're usually excited like we are, and you're probably going to forget a few things. So if we go out there, we set it up, we can go through that, walk you through it. I do it almost every day of the week. It's a really fun part of my job. I get to deliver people's dreams and their vacation homes. It's a lot of fun, and you get to meet a lot of people and get to go a lot of cool places.
And so if you're thinking about the RV lifestyle, you want to experience the RV lifestyle, we would love to earn your business out here at Wade's RV. Just give us a call, or most importantly, visit us on our website, wadesrv.com. We have multiple Facebook pages. We have one for Glenpool. We have one for Goldsby. We have one for Joplin. So whatever area you're in, connect to that local page because we always bring you the educational videos, funny videos, and just everything about RV lifestyle.
Everything about an RV, we can get you taken care of. Parts, service, sales, storage at every single location, except we don't have indoor here in Joplin yet. But if you got a few RVs that you want to store outside, we can definitely help you out to accommodate you. And just let us know how we can help you, because if you don't tell us, we can't tell you the solution. So let us know what you need help with, and we can help you. Give us a call, and if you want me to deliver your RV, give us a call. Put down that $500 deposit.
Oh, yeah.
Tell them you want Willy D to drop it off. I don't know if I'll meet you in the parking lot at 10 o'clock, but I'll bring it down there to you.
Don't forget this. Don't forget this before we leave. You mentioned earlier before the podcast, hey, literally, somebody could be on their couch right now dreaming about their next vacation and shop at wadesrv.com, find their dream RV, talk to a sales representative or one of our specialists to make sure that it's the right RV for you, and we will deliver it.
We have it pretty much perfected.
Yeah.
You know, we're human, so things do happen. But we started this program about 6 years ago, and I believe we were the first ones to ever do this, where you could buy an RV completely from your couch, from your lazy boy, without ever leaving the couch or your lazy boy, and we'll bring it to your front door. So really cool experience, and it's just gotten better through the years because, you know, FaceTime, Skype, it was 5-6 years ago, we weren't able to just to walk around, show our phone, send a drone up, show you the roof of a used RV. We weren't able to use all those different tools, and, you know, if we did have them, they weren't super clear. We can show you in 4K everything about that RV, except that brand new smell whenever you walk in. I can't replicate that quite yet. I'm sure it'll come back.
There you go. And that's today's episode, RV Camping with Wade's RV. Until we see you next week, have a good one.